Hello and welcome to this installment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the headrest plugs for various models including the Triumph TR6, Jaguar E-Types and Jaguar XJ6s. Now I'm sure they were fitted to quite a few other cars, but certainly out of the ones that we do day in day out, they're the ones that were commonly fitted. And although the headrests on those cars did actually vary, the concept of how they were fitted to the actual seat cover in terms of the chrome finisher was almost identical and therefore is absolutely interchangeable. Just to show you what I'm talking about here. So we're actually talking about this black plastic headrest plug here. I've already pre-inserted it into the chrome finisher that normally is actually part of the seat cover. And then here we have a trimmed up one in parchment vinyl to match the customer's seats here. And to refer to the actual part we're talking about, this is an E-Type and it's literally got this headrest plug fitted to the surround section there, whereas obviously the majority of the actual cars left with headrests actually installed and fitted. And this is a Triumph TR6 version, which is actually these seats here. And like I said, they did them on the XJ6s as well, which the XJ6s, the headrests were actually identical to the E-Type versions there. Now, as a bit of a backstory, as far as I'm aware, basically some cars left with the provision for headrests to be installed, especially amongst the E-Type era, meaning that they had a bracket in the back here that allowed the stalk headrest to be fitted. But they didn't necessarily fit them. And the reason for that was I'm fairly sure the North American market imposed legislation which meant that they had to have headrests after a certain date. But the rest of the world didn't necessarily have to do that. And obviously they would have had seat frames mass produced. So for North American cars, they would have been putting the headrest in, but for maybe some of the other areas of the world, they didn't actually bother installing the headrest. They just put a bung or plug, whatever you want to refer to it, in the top of the seat there. But in theory, if you've got that there, you should have a provision on the frame to allow for an actual headrest to be fitted. And some people like to do that. They like to either carry on what was original for their car, or in the case of this gentleman here with the Triumph TR6, he's not sure whether he wants the headrest. So we've actually made the headrest for him, the headrest covers, but he's not sure, and he wanted initially just to have the plug installed into it, and I offered that we could trim it up in the same color as his main trim, which he was very pleased to hear about there. So that's what we're effectively offering now. So we can sell them as the black plastic. It literally is that black plastic thing. It's got the legs on it that poke in around the chrome work there. This chrome work is obviously part of the seat cover. It's not part of what we offer as the headrest plug. And we can offer it fully trimmed up, like I say, in either vinyl as per this one, which matches the surround, or in leather if you prefer. Obviously we'd recommend you do it matching the main trim and material. And this is what we've got here. This is a set of TR6 seats where we've installed one for the sake of this video, and the other one's in my hand. But this is what would normally be the case. So the TR6s, you have this opening here, and that's where the stalk for the headrest goes in, and you're literally popping this into place here. You can see the little feet on it there which clip in. Now it is worth noting that these aftermarket ones a bit flimsy, I would say. They do the job, but you do have to be careful. We'd actually recommend that you gently heat these up before installing them, and especially if you're about to take them out, just get a hairdryer on us or something like that and just gently heat it up, and then be very, very careful and patient taking them out. Otherwise, unfortunately, the legs can, a bit flimsy, so can snap sometimes. So do bear that in mind, but as long as you're careful, you should be absolutely fine. And this is obviously what it looks like when it's all installed here. Now, this seat here is actually leather face, so all of this bit here is leather, but the surround here is vinyl, as is the back here, and so we've opted for vinyl, so it all matches in there. And it just creates a lovely, nice finish. You still get the chrome element there that makes it all look nice and a bit of a contrast, but the rest of it is all tying in nicely with the actual seat cover itself. Otherwise, effectively, I'll just superimpose that over the top there. You've got a bit of a contrast of black, which, you know, some people like, so whatever floats your boat. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the video detailing what we can offer. Like I say, in vinyl or in leather, both versions would be skived down, so that's the process of thinning the material down by shaving off some of the backing on it, which makes it easier and more pliable to get a nice neat finish on it. They are extremely fiddly, as you might imagine, just because they're so small and not much kind of to go on in terms of grip, but that is something we can offer. So just thought I'd do a video just to show you those options there. Anyway, hope you found that useful. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Of course, if you have a requirement for these or have any other questions about our seat covers and headrests, do not hesitate to contact me either in the comments below or directly via the website, which is my preference. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.